The sun had long set on the village of Okarakpa, but its people had not forgotten the sins of Baba Mufu. His banishment had been a lesson, a warning, a purge of evil, or so they thought. But some men, like poison, do not disappear. They fester, waiting for the right moment to strike again. Baba Ishmael was a man of iron. A towering figure, his voice alone could silence an entire gathering. He had been the first to suspect Baba Mufu, the first to dig into the whispers, the first to expose the wicked trade of stolen children. And for that, Baba Mufu hated him with a venom that could burn the gods themselves. Though banished, Baba Mufu had not left entirely. He had settled in a village miles away, under a different name. There, he rebuilt his trade, selling charms, herbs, and whispered secrets of forbidden rituals. But more than anything, he resumed his baby-buying business, carefully selecting desperate mothers and corrupt buyers. But he wanted revenge. He needed to silence the man who had ruined him. One evening, under the dim light of an oil lamp, Baba Mufu received an unexpected visitor, one of his old accomplices who is still in the baby-buying trade called Baba Jonah, who leaned in close and whispered, "Baba Ishmael still speaks against you. I overheard his boastful statement at a palm wine drinking spot in Okarakpa village last week. He says you are a plague. He says that if he ever catches wind of you again, he will finish what he started." Baba Mufu smiled. A slow, sinister grin. "Then he must be reminded that I never lose." 6 months later, Baba Mufu returned to Okarakpa village under the disguise of a humble merchant. He did not fear the villagers. No, he had something far greater on his side: time. People forget. And those who remember, well, they could be silenced. As he walked through the marketplace, he saw Baba Ishmael sitting outside his usual spot, a wooden bench by the palm wine store, laughing with other elders. His strong frame had not weakened with age, and his sharp eyes scanned the village like a hawk watching for prey. Baba Mufu approached slowly, his presence causing murmurs to ripple through the crowd. Some recognized him immediately, others only saw a man cloaked in old grudges and dark secrets. "Oh, Baba Ishmael, the mighty defender of justice," Baba Mufu said, his voice dripping with mockery. The bench went silent. Baba Ishmael turned his head, his eyes narrowing like a lion sensing an intruder in its territory. "You dare show your face here," he said, his voice a low growl. "I have no quarrel with you," Baba Mufu lied. "In fact, I come in peace." Baba Ishmael scoffed. "Peace? From you? The man who sells babies like livestock? The man whose hands are stained with the tears of grieving mothers?" The villagers watched, waiting, breath held between their teeth. Baba Mufu chuckled. "We all make mistakes. And we all seek redemption. Redemption is for the repentant. You are a snake." A pause. A dangerous silence. Then, to everyone's surprise, Baba Mufu raised his hands. "Then let us settle this like men. Over a drink." The palm wine store was lively that evening. The air was thick with laughter, music, and the clinking of calabashes. Baba Mufu and Baba Ishmael sat across from each other, their bodies tense despite their forced smiles. Baba Mufu poured the drink himself, ensuring that Baba Ishmael's cup was full. "To a new beginning," Baba Mufu said, raising his cup and demanded a cheers. Baba Ishmael hesitated but took the cup and had a sip and gave a cheers to Baba Mufu. He had never feared poison, never feared death. If Baba Mufu was foolish enough to try something, he would be ready. They both drank and forgot their rifts as men would do. And just about village women and football matches for about 2 hours, and all seemed well. But then, Baba Ishmael's hands clenched into fists, shaking. His breath quickened. A strange, cold sweat formed on his forehead. The air seemed to spin, the faces around him melting into a haze of confusion. His sight became blurry. His heart slammed against his ribs as he threw up vomit from his aching stomach. I think I have been poisoned. Baba Mufu watched, smiling ever so slightly as Baba Ishmael gasped for breath. What have you done? Baba Ishmael croaked, his vision blurring. Baba Mufu leaned in close, whispering, "You took everything from me. Now, I take everything from you." Baba Ishmael's body lurched forward, knocking over his drink. The villagers rushed to his side, panic erupting in the marketplace. But Baba Mufu, he simply stood, watching as his greatest enemy fell. And as the cries of the villagers filled the night, Baba Mufu disappeared into the shadows, like a wind, his evil deed accomplished. Because men like him, they never stop, they are always on the run. A dimly lit hut in a strange remote village. The air is thick with the scent of burning incense. The sound of distant drums echoes in the background. Baba Mufu, now dressed in fine traditional robes, sits comfortably on a wooden stool, a large gourd of palm wine in his hand. On either side of him, two beautiful young women laugh, feeding him pieces of roasted meat. His scarred face glows with satisfaction as he takes a long sip of his drink. He lets out a deep chuckle, shaking his head. A sweet victory. That stubborn fool, Baba Ishmael, thought he was a god. But even gods fall when touched by the right poison. The women giggle, running their hands over his shoulders. One of them, Nkem, leans in closer. But Baba, are you sure no one in Okarakpo village can cure him? Baba Mufu scoffs, slamming his palm on the wooden table. Cure him? Do you think I am a fool? I did not use ordinary poison. I used the venom of the seven-headed viper. Even the strongest herbalist cannot fight it except me. Ho 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 ho. Baba Ishmael will rot from the inside out. Within 2 weeks, his breath will stop, and his name will be forgotten. The second woman, Tolani, gasps, pretending to be scared, but her eyes shine with admiration. You are truly powerful, Baba Mufu. No one dares to cross you and live. Baba Mufu laughs again, taking another deep sip of palm wine. And that is why I'm still here. Alive. Drinking. Enjoying life. And Baba Ishmael, he is gasping for breath like a dying fish. The women join in his laughter, their voices blending with the crackling fire outside. But outside the hut, deep in the shadows, a lone figure listens. A pair of sharp, vengeful eyes gleam in the darkness. Someone, a strange person, has heard every word being said, and revenge is already brewing.